Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Latex Free World Foundation podcast. My name is Pauline Campos. You can find me online on TikTok, on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter as Chronically Spicy. I talk about latex allergy on this account specifically on this YouTube channel specifically. On my other channels, I also talk about coconut allergy, and I also talk about mast cell activation syndrome, chronic illness, and for everything, I talk about self-advocacy because we all know that we need to do it. Give me 1 second here. All right, so I am actually in the process of getting things going. Okay, cool. So if you're new here and you're watching on YouTube, if you're watching on TikTok, please join us on the Latex Free World Foundation podcast on the YouTube channel for the Latex Free World Foundation. It's our first live stream. I'm solo due to an unfortunate last minute cancellation with our guest, whom I completely understand. She's not feeling well, and with chronic illness, we obviously understand how that works. So hopefully she'll be able to join me on Friday. I'm not going to say who yet because I don't want to ruin the surprise or, add any undue pressure in case she's not feeling well on Friday yet. However, if you are interested in joining me on a future live stream for the Latex Free World Foundation, please send me a message. You can email me at pauline@latexfreeworld.org. Tell me a little bit about yourself, about your story. I'm interested in interviewing patients about their experiences, and I'm also interested in speaking with medical professionals, and I would love to get a bridge connection going between the medical world and the patient world, because that seems to be one of the spaces where, especially with severe allergies like this, the latex allergy, where we have a gap. And I would really like to work on bridging that gap so that we have communication between the patients and the medical professionals. Before we go any further, if you're joining us on YouTube or Facebook, please like, subscribe, please comment, please hit the notification bell, help with the algorithm. I would really, really appreciate that. We're just getting started as an organization. We're just getting started as a podcast and live stream. And we are actually just getting started also on the internet, on the website, on the Latex Free World blog. Today, I thought it would be smart to focus on navigating latex allergy with navigating the holidays with latex allergy, considering the fact that Christmas is this weekend. And not a lot of people know, but there are quite a few allergic triggers for latex allergy and latex allergy crosses that are associated with the holidays. So we're going to go through the first and only blog post on the Latex Free World Foundation, written by yours truly. I will be providing content on the website on a regular basis. You can check in tomorrow. I plan on posting another blog post this evening. And again, if you have ideas for blog post topics, questions you'd like answered, you can email me at pauline@latexfreeworldfoundation.org. So let's go through this article first, this blog post first. And if you're watching on TikTok, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. And if I see, if I'm looking up, I'll try and catch you, but I would really appreciate it if you would join us over on YouTube to help with the algorithm, help with the numbers, and help us get on the YouTube map, because that's one of the ways that we work on awareness, right? And we all know we need awareness for latex allergy. So navigating the holidays with latex allergy. The holiday season is here, and that means making merry with food, friends, twinkling lights, and gift-giving galore. If you or anyone on your gift list has a latex allergy, however, there are a few actionable steps you can take for the safest possible holiday. But before we get into that, let's first take a look at what latex allergy actually means. What is latex allergy? According to WebMD, an allergy to latex means that you or your loved one's immune system has an overactive or exaggerated response to the proteins in natural rubber latex, also abbreviated as NLR, which are found in a variety of items, including latex gloves, NLR sold footwear, and balloons. Not everyone is allergic to latex, but there are certain groups of people who are more likely to develop a latex allergy. These groups include individuals who have other allergies, including food allergies, have asthma, have had multiple medical procedures such as people born with a condition called spina bifida. Latex fruit syndrome. It's also important to note that up to 50% of latex allergic patients will develop allergies to one or more foods or substances that share proteins with latex, known as latex fruit syndrome, due to the progressive nature of the allergy. And this has happened to me. A few of these foods include, and this is by all means not an exhaustive list, but this list includes apples, pumpkin, avocados, pineapples, and other citrus fruits, bananas, and chestnuts. Speaking of chestnuts, has anybody ever actually said the word chestnuts outside of singing chestnuts roasting over an open fire? Anyway, not everyone with a latex allergy is affected by every item on the potential latex cross allergy list. So make sure to talk to your doctor or check in with your friends or family with latex allergy to avoid potential allergic reactions while enjoying those holiday feasts. A Christmas dinner without a pumpkin pie might be a bummer, but staying safe is always more important than roasting any chestnuts over an open fire. That's hysterical. Second time I've said it in 5 minutes. All right. Poinsettia plants and other potential holiday latex triggers. Yes, poinsettia plants are in the same family as a natural rubber latex, as a rubber tree, and they are a latex cross potentially for many individuals. So latex allergy patients have to be mindful of what they eat, touch, wear, or even inhale, since some very sensitive patients react to the airborne latex particles released into the air. In the latex allergy community, we refer to this as latex glitter. So, what else do you need to know to avoid latex allergy reactions? First, latex allergy is not curable. According to the Allergy and Asthma Network, the only way to avoid a latex allergy reaction is strict avoidance of known triggers. Pardon. Offer allergy-safe dishes. Whether you are the latex allergic patient or have one or more latex allergic guests coming over for a holiday party, try to include safe food options as part of the festivities. This might mean sharing your menu ingredients with allergic guests and asking if any specific steps must be taken during preparation or serving to prevent potential cross-contamination. Oh, and make sure you let your allergic guests serve themselves first in the interest of safety. Make sure your home is as safe as possible for allergic guests. We already discussed that latex is a progressive allergy that can trigger airborne allergic reactions. This means that for the hypersensitive, and yes, I see the typo, we'll fix that, simply having a banana in a fruit bowl or a live poinsettia plant as a holiday decoration may be enough to trigger a potentially severe allergic reaction. Ask your guests for a list of their known latex allergy triggers and follow that list to the letter. Since latex particles are airborne, just being in the same building as a latex protein sharing poinsettia plant can be dangerous. Be prepared for an emergency. Whether you are celebrating in your home or not, always make sure to have your EpiPens with you and alert others around in case a serious reaction occurs. If you or a guest does suffer a serious allergic reaction despite the best of intentions, be sure to call 911 after using the EpiPen. Planning for a safe holiday season can be tricky with those of us for those of us with a latex allergy, and actually with those of us for latex allergy, if you're the one planning the party that we're invited to. But with the right precautions, it is possible to create lasting and safe memories with your loved ones. So we're going to go over a couple of points brought up in here, because since I'm here solo, and I know that everybody starts solo on YouTube and Facebook, so that's fine. But I wanted to talk about a few points that have affected me directly. And if you're watching or listening, I'd love to hear what your thoughts or your experiences are. TikTok, feel free to jump in. I see I've got a couple people in my live. If you've got questions on latex allergy and the holidays, please let me know. And thanks for following and for joining for my TikTok peeps. If you're listening here, if you're watching here on YouTube, again, Chronically Spicy on TikTok. So for myself, that was redundant. That's okay. So when we are talking about natural rubber latex, and like we mentioned here, the fact that people who have other allergies are going to be more prone to latex allergy, have asthma, and have had multiple medical procedures. Those things I qualify for all of those. I hit every single one of those things right there. Other allergies, I'm allergic to coconut, which is a standalone allergy, but also happens to be a latex allergy cross. They share proteins. I do have asthma. I have exercise-induced asthma, so I don't necessarily need to be using an inhaler like my daughter, who has like inhaler necessary asthma. But I do know to watch myself when I'm working out and pace myself. But I also didn't realize until I joined and started working with the Latex Free World Foundation that asthma was, one of the things that is on the potential watch it list for being more prone to developing latex allergy. And those who have had multiple medical procedures, such as people born with spina bifida. All right, so multiple medical procedures, and these are things that honestly would not have even crossed my mind before I was diagnosed. But we're talking anything, going to the dentist, the basic female biology, gynecology appointments, anything where you're going to be exposed to potential latex containing items. And I was actually hospitalized multiple times during my pregnancy. I had a high risk pregnancy, and I was hospitalized 3 times for a week each. So for the first 6 weeks of my daughter's life, I was hospitalized every other week because I had severe mastitis. Now, a friend of mine who was a nurse talked with me a little bit and asked, and this was a recent conversation, and she asked me, did you know you were allergic to latex at the time? Because if you didn't, it's very likely that every single time you were hospitalized for a week during that time period, you were being exposed to latex on a daily basis, 24/7, because I had IVs with antibiotics going into me. And the IV tips are going to contain latex unless your record or your chart states that you are a latex allergic patient. So, and up until my pregnancy, I would say I would classify myself as having been latex sensitive, but I wasn't latex allergic. I wasn't having episodes that required an EpiPen. That didn't happen until after the pregnancy. So that might have been enough thrown into the mix to turn the spark into a fire. And that's where the progressive nature of the allergy, comes in. Things don't typically happen, even though it feels like and seems like it happens overnight. It doesn't usually. For most people, it is progressive, where you are going to end up starting with just maybe a sensitivity to Band-Aids, the adhesive, having maybe a slight rash with medical tape, that kind of thing. And then, as time goes on, well, maybe you become a little bit more sensitive. Bananas make you sneeze, maybe touching, going into rooms with birthday parties with natural rubber latex balloons, you get an anxious feeling, maybe you need to use your inhaler, that kind of thing. It doesn't happen overnight. It does build up, but it is going to seem like it happens overnight. So, latex fruit syndrome. This is a big one. And this is why I mentioned pumpkin pie in the holidays and apple pie in the holidays. I know that, Thanksgiving obviously has already passed, but I know that a lot of people do, even my family, apple pie, pumpkin pie, and you've got all the goodies out for the holiday feast. And well, the problem here is that pumpkin, apples, those are all on the latex cross potential list. Does not mean, and well, chestnuts and those open fires. If you have a latex allergy, I would highly not recommend. I'm not giving medical advice. I'm just telling you that I myself am not going to be listening to White Christmas and using it as a list of directions and acting out the song, because I am most certainly not going to be taking any chestnuts and roasting them over any open fires, because that means latex particles galore in the air, and I don't need to be going to the ER on Christmas. No, thank you very much. So we're going to skip that, right? So also we will talk about, actually, let me go back a little bit. So for foods, I know a lot of people eat gluten-free these days. Some for preference, some because it helps reduce inflammation, and others because you have celiac disease or a wheat allergy. In my house, we are gluten-free. I have an allergy to wheat, and my husband and daughter both have celiac disease. This is relevant to latex allergy because a lot of gluten-free foods and mixes contain potential latex crosses. So let me open up a new tab. So gluten and cross-reactive foods. That might be what I'm looking for. This is from celiac.com. So, are you 100% gluten-free? If so, it could be you're experiencing cross-reactivity or sensitivity to foods that do not contain gluten, but your body reacts to them as if they do. Cross-reactivity is the ability of an antibody to react with similar antigenic sites on different points. All right. So, let's looking through to see, because I did not have a chance to check this out ahead of time, but all right. So here's where we look. So a lot of gluten-free foods, like say pancake mixes, baking mixes, are going to contain things like potato flour, sesame, tapioca flour. Those are three that I can see right off the bat that also are, and corn also, actually. So four that I can see right off the bat that are potential latex crosses. They contain similar proteins to latex. So that is another issue so if you're cooking for people who are gluten-free, and you have people who are latex allergic coming over also. And trust me, if you're inviting my family over, then it sounds as improbable as that may sound. If you invite the three of us over, you've got all of that covered. So things can get kind of tricky, and usually that means that the latex allergic person, me, has a limited number of things that I'm going to be eating, much less than the gluten-free people will be. There are plenty of times where I cannot eat things that are served or prepared for my family. And that's okay. But it always means reading the ingredients lists, getting my phone out and cross-referencing things on different websites, and having to be that person who might look like a hypochondriac, might look like I'm overreacting. But I'm trying to make sure, one, I keep myself safe, especially if I'm at someone else's house. And I do have a really good friend who prepares foods for me and my family. Always make sure that I have something that I can eat when we're invited over. And the last thing that I would ever want to do is just dive into a plateful or a bowl full of something that she has prepared for me with the best of intentions, and have a reaction because I didn't stop to double check, because good intentions do not always equal latex allergy safe, especially when it comes to cross reactants that people who are not allergic to latex aren't going to be aware of. Pumpkin pie is it could be one of those things. I haven't reacted to pumpkin yet, but we could get there eventually. And I do know that with the progressive nature of latex allergy, that definitely means that every time I'm eating something that is on the potential latex allergy cross list, that I always pay attention to how my body's reacting, and if it's reacting at all, and what those symptoms might be. Because what I've been told, and what a lot of other latex allergic patients have been told by their doctors, that I've been told, that have shared their stories with me on TikTok, is that for me specifically, I was told not to avoid a food or cross a food off my safe list until or unless I've reacted to it, because we're already limited enough as it is. And why make life harder? Now that, of course, is going to be, up to you on how much you limit and how much you avoid. But it does tend to make more sense for me anyway. I'm opening up another one with the latex cross reactive foods so that we can go over those. Because again, holidays means food, 100%. And that is exactly what we are talking about here. So Allergy and Asthma Network, let's go to this one. The Allergy and Asthma Network has an incredible amount of really great information on latex allergy. So I highly recommend checking them out and seeing what they have to say. So latex cross-reactive foods occur, like we said, in 30 to 50% of people with latex allergy. And it happens because these foods share similarly structured proteins that the body mistakenly recognizes as latex. This in turn causes allergic reactions in latex sensitive people. So basically your body misfires, but is acting as if it was exposed to actual latex because of the shared proteins, right? So here is the list so far. You can download this on your phone or on your computer. I personally have it downloaded on my phone because I don't go grocery shopping with my laptop. But low, and this is going to go from low to high. Okay. So there's a lot of foods on the low or undetermined cross reactivity list that I can still eat a lot more probably. And that includes, so apricot, buckwheat, cassava, castor bean, cherry, chickpea, citrus, coconut, cucumber, dill, eggplant or aubergine, fig, goji berry or wolfberry, grape, hazelnut, Indian jujube, jackfruit, lychee, mango, nectarine, oregano, passion fruit, peach, and peanut. On this list, I have reacted to cassava, which is also used in gluten-free baking mixes. I've reacted to chickpeas. I miss hummus. Yep. I have reacted to citrus fruits. I am already allergic to coconut. I also have reacted to, let's see here, grapes, which means wine is out. So make that also, again, back to the holidays here on Latex Allergy. If you're serving wine, if you have to plan to have that on your menu for beverages for the holiday meal, and you have latex allergic guests coming over, or you yourself have the latex allergy, make sure you have an alternative that is safe. I myself usually just drink sparkling water, but make sure you try to take into account, potential latex allergy, because grapes and wine is made from grapes. So that makes it out a no, usually, if there is a latex allergy. Double check, because like I said, this is lower undetermined. Not everyone with a latex allergy is going to react, possibly, but know the possibility is there. It's always worth checking first. Also on the list, pear, peppers, cayenne, sweet, or bell, persimmon, pineapple. I react to pineapple. It makes my tongue burn. Pumpkin, rye. I react to rye. Sage, strawberry, shellfish, soybean, sunflower seeds, tobacco. If anybody smokes, I used to. Latex and tobacco do share proteins. So if you are a smoker, or you vape and are trying to quit smoking, and you have nicotine that comes from the tobacco plant, and you're having reactions that you still can't figure out, and you've cut everything else out, take a look at this list. So let's see. Also, turnip. I don't eat turnips, so I wouldn't know. Walnuts I've reacted to and I'm allergic to. Wheat, I already have a diagnosed allergy to that. And zucchini. Moderate cross reactivity with latex. So this is higher probability. Apple. So again, for the holidays, watch out for the apple pies. Carrots. If you're stuffing your turkey, I know a lot of people use carrots, and you glazed carrots and different varieties, variations of carrots for their holiday meal sides. Keep that in mind. Celery. Now, I have not reacted. I don't do raw celery. I have never liked doing raw celery. I don't know why. Maybe it was me trying to keep myself safe, but I seem to be still okay if I have celery as an ingredient that's cooked into other foods. So, for example, we have a chili recipe that my mother-in-law makes an incredible chili, and we make that version at home. And celery is one of the ingredients in that, and I can have that chili safely. But I'm thinking it's because it's cooked. But I wouldn't do raw celery if you paid me. Melons, I avoid those. Papaya, yep, those make my tongue burn too. Potato, so potato flour, that's back to the gluten potential cross for gluten-free foods and gluten-free mixes. So any gluten-free desserts that you make or purchase at the stores, or gluten-free pastries, make sure you check if you have guests who are both latex and gluten-free, latex allergic and gluten-free. If potato is a potential, it's something that your latex allergic friends or yourself might react to, because if so, then it might be time to try something new. or just to avoid that entirely. Let's see here. Tomato. Now, I don't react to tomato yet, which is why I can still safely have that chili. And I say yet because I do know that as time goes by, I lose more and more foods. High cross reactivity with latex. I'm allergic to every single one of these. Avocado. I'm Mexican, so we have guacamole for on a side for everything. And
I found this on the web.
Oh, you know what, Siri? I wasn't talking to you. Okay. Sorry, I don't have a guest, and Siri was like, "Hey, I'll chime in." But avocado, depending on how Mexican your Christmas or Thanksgiving are, I had avocado with everything. Plus, I eat keto most of the time, and losing avocado was really, really hard for me. Banana. I'm allergic to banana. It used to be that I just couldn't eat them. I would sneeze. One time I sneezed so hard that I actually twisted something on my neck, and my neck locked into place, and I couldn't turn my head again, and had to get an emergency appointment with my chiropractor, who was like, "Yeah, so you should make an appointment with your allergist, because if a banana did this to you and you just sneezed and now you're seeing me." And the allergist was like, "Well, you're not testing as allergic to bananas, but if you have to go see your chiropractor, I'm just going to add banana as an allergy to your list." And that was a really good point that he brought up for me that I'd like to share with you. And that is that even if you do not test as allergic to something on the potential latex allergy cross list, it doesn't mean that you're not allergic. If you're having a reaction, especially if it's a latex potential cross, the tests themselves are checking for the proteins specific to that food item, right? When you're getting tested for, say, you got a rash because you ate some cantaloupe, or your mouth started burning because you were eating an apple, or your fingers swelled like mine did. Swelled, is that the word? Got swollen. After handling bananas to make banana chips, after you stopped eating bananas because you knew that you couldn't eat them anymore, but it didn't occur to you that maybe you shouldn't be touching them either. Ask me how I know. Then the test is looking for the protein specific to those food items. It's not necessarily looking for latex shared proteins. So not every allergy is going to show up. I just know that I react to these. Chestnuts, we've been over that. I don't even know if I could tell you what one looked like in a store. But I definitely, and when I said I'm allergic to every single one of these, I said yes, even though I don't think I've ever had one, because I was told, because I'm allergic to and have reacted to walnuts and pecans, to just stay away from nuts from my allergist. So I'm considered nut allergic. I'm not airborne anaphylactic to nuts. I've had very sweet stewardesses on flight attendants on flights stop and ask me before serving peanuts on the plane if it was safe to do so, because I checked peanut allergy. And I remember saying, "No, it's fine. I just can't eat them, but I don't react with anyone, if I'm around them," which is fine. And kiwi, I missed that one too. That one is super, super good. Now here's the visual list, which goes from high down to moderate, down to low. And again, if you're watching on TikTok, please check me out on YouTube on the Latex Free World Foundation podcast. 1 second. Here we go. All right. All right. So I have this photo screenshot, and I have it saved on my phone from the Allergy and Asthma Network. And I refer to this list quite often. And I think it's important to pay attention because, if you've got dill and sage, dill for, I don't know how your family does Christmas. We usually have like, snacks, chips, and dips out ready, for we can nosh while we're prepping the main meal, and that can include things like vegetable platters with sliced up vegetables, including bell peppers and broccoli and other things like that, and chip dip, vegetable dip that usually includes dill. I don't react to dill yet, thank goodness for me, but again, you always pay attention to your reactions, because latex allergy is not what the same for everybody, and we're trying to have a safe holiday, right? Fig. Yeah, I remember seeing a TikTok recently where a woman was talking about her husband bringing home a box of Fig Newtons, I think it was, fig cookies. I don't know if I can say a brand. And he only ate like a little bit of one, and then like said, like, she was like, why'd you buy that if you weren't going to finish it? And basically the story was, he didn't realize that fig cookies didn't make everybody's mouths burn after a few bites, so he would only eat a few. He thought it was normal. A lot of stuff that we go through, we normalize because we don't know that it's not normal. Oregano and sage, I know, are used in a lot of savory dishes. And so that's something to look out for. I don't react to either one of those yet, so that's good. But these are also things that I don't eat on a regular basis. Shellfish. I know a lot of people do like fancy crab leg, shrimp, scallop type meals for either Christmas Eve or Christmas Day. And thankfully, I do not yet react to shellfish. And I don't know if this is why, but I will tell you that avocado, banana, kiwi, I used to eat regularly. And that could possibly be why that those specific allergies advanced faster, but it could also be because they share higher levels of latex proteins. When it comes to shellfish, it is on the low or undetermined latex protein list. So while some people know they have definitive latex cross allergy to shellfish, I myself do not as of yet, and I'm going to cross my fingers that it stays that way for as long as possible, because I'm having myself some crab legs for Christmas Day. And that's only because I know I do not react. I'm not messing with anything that I already know I'm allergic to. So back to what my allergist told me was that if I react to a food twice to consider myself allergic, whether or not it shows up as an allergy on testing. If I react to, hi Robin, I see you on TikTok, babe. She's one of my followers, and she's one of my mutuals, and she is the sweetest. Okay, so back to what the allergist said. So if I react to a food twice, you react to a food twice, even if it doesn't show up on testing, to consider myself allergic. And if I react to a medication once, to consider myself allergic. And that's been my rule of thumb since then. So that's super, super important. Let's see. All right, trying to stick to about an hour since we're new here. And so I want to go to and show you a little bit about the latexfreeworld.org website, so you can take a look and learn a little bit about us. Latex Free World Foundation provides awareness, support, education, funding, and advocacy to those who need help in their battle against latex allergy. We've got about latex allergy if you're looking for answers, places to get support, ways you can get involved and help support the cause. because awareness matters, and the louder we get, the more doctors have to listen. So flat out, I see more people joining on TikTok. Hi, nice to see you. Please join us on Facebook or on YouTube, Latex Free World Foundation. Our amazing founder, Carmen Campbell. Education is important, she says. I feel like we're living in we're walking through a minefield, and with latex allergy, we are. It's very hard to. There is no such thing as 100% latex avoidance. There just isn't. It's more of the fact that the best you can do is to limit your exposure. All right, that's the best you can really do. And that requires awareness on your part. Now I'm looking at downloadables on the latexfreeworldfoundation.org, latex allergy guide, food allergy babysitting and drop-off forms. Lots of great options and resources for parents and for latex allergic people. Lastly, it's important to know that if you suspect latex allergy and you haven't been diagnosed yet, it's important to note that latex allergy testing on your skin directly can be dangerous because latex allergy is progressive in nature. That means every single exposure can increase the severity of your current level of allergy. And once your baseline increases in severity, it doesn't go back down. So every time it gets worse, that's your new normal. Every time you lose a new food or become more severely reactive to a food, that's your new normal. So a lot of resources, a lot of the more latex allergy aware doctors and resources recommend blood testing as opposed to skin testing. Okay, that's really important to know. And if you go on to latexfreeworldfoundation.org, you can actually go on to, let's see here, 1 minute here, latex. We'll go wrong page. Here we go. So if you go Latex Free World Foundation there, on the main page, at the very top of the page, you have the option to donate, which would certainly appreciate your support. And then you can also click on test kits, and you can request a free latex allergy test kit, which once you get those results, once you get the test, and once you get these results back, you can share these with your doctor. Are these tests free? Yes, they are. The Latex Free World Foundation is sponsoring up to $5,000 of free latex testing for our followers and supporters in an effort to spread awareness and advocacy for those who have or believe they have been diagnosed with latex allergy or believe we've developed. How can you get tested? So fill out the form. You will be contacted within 2 to 3 days. And is the testing safe? The testing is safe. Okay. So that I think is super important to pay attention to. Back to, before we head out here, I wanted to touch base on the poinsettia plants, because that's a really big deal with latex allergy. I'm basically housebound to, I'd say probably about, I spend 90% of the holiday season at home. I can't go to the grocery stores. I can only go to restaurants after I've called to verify that they do not have live poinsettia plants on site. And this, we learned this last year. No, 2 Christmases ago, we learned. I was shopping with my husband, and for me, I am only sensitive. I'm sensitive enough that if I can see the poinsettia plant, and even out of the corner of my eye, if I can see something and it's close enough to me that I can identify it as a poinsettia plant, I'm likely already starting to have a reaction. And that right here, like we said, it's listed under the latex cross potentials for cross reactants. And if you have anyone coming over with a latex allergy, or you're planning any holiday outings with someone with latex allergy, please be aware that exposure to poinsettia can possibly trigger a severe latex allergic reaction. So that is something to be very aware of, and you don't have to physically touch it. It just being in the same building, in the same area for some people can be enough to set off an allergic reaction. And so for me, that means that during the holidays from Thanksgiving to about New Year's is when my husband does all of the Christmas shopping. Sorry, he does the Christmas shopping and in-person Christmas shopping for anything you have to pick up locally. He does the grocery shopping, or we have groceries delivered if he is out of town on a business trip or anything. Because grocery stores all have floral departments. Target has a floral department. I can't go into a Target. I love Target. Target, please stop carrying actual poinsettia plants. So that's a really big deal, and people love having poinsettia plants out during the holidays. They've kind of become, synonymous as a holiday, a symbol, a representation of the Christmas of Christmas and the holiday season. Unfortunately, they're also poison for me and for other people who are also allergic to latex. Not for everyone, but definitely be aware that if you are not yet allergic to a poinsettia plant, it could possibly happen in the future. So let's see. Just checking. All right. So thank you for joining me from everybody on TikTok. And I think we're probably going to wrap up for today. I've been on for just about an hour. And like I said, we're new here and just getting our feet wet on the YouTube podcast here. But I would like to encourage all of our followers, all of our viewers to please support, like the channel, subscribe to the channel. Latex Free World Foundation on YouTube, Facebook, Latex Free World Foundation. We're also on Instagram and Twitter. Please follow the accounts. For YouTube, please hit the subscribe bell so that the notification bell. Leave a comment, ask a question. We will, use questions as jumping off points for future conversations. If you have a guest you'd like to recommend, a doctor that would be willing to speak with us, or yourself would like to approach us as being a guest on a future Latex Free World Foundation podcast episode, please reach out. You can email me directly at Pauline@latexfreeworld.org. Please check me out, my own accounts, again, Chronically Spicy on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. I think that's all of them. But if you search Pauline Campos and Chronically Spicy, you'll be able to find me. And again, don't forget, you can we have a number of free test kits that we are currently offering for followers, in the hopes of helping identify those of us with latex allergies so that we can be safe. Because when it comes to latex allergy, the more we know, the safer we can be. You can't avoid what you need to avoid. We don't know what we don't know. And that means researching everything. That means doing the necessary testing. And then that also means trying to be as aware as you need to be in order to be safe. So I think we are good. I'd like to say thank you for joining us for today. And stay tuned for Friday. I don't have a time yet, but I am working on securing a guest for Friday's episode. And I'm going to be heading off for the day. If I don't see you again, if you aren't able to join us on Friday before the holiday, I hope you have a merry and safe holiday, merry and safe Christmas, whichever holiday itself that you are celebrating. I hope you have a lovely time and a safe time with family and friends, and that it's as uneventful as possible and EpiPens are not needed.